closing costs that the seller can pay. When you're buying a home, the closing costs can really add up. If you're getting a loan, you've got lender fees, title fees, recording fees, appraisals, not to mention 1 year of insurance and any escrow set up for taxes. My name is Jennifer Hernandez, Loan with Jen, Real Facts, No BS, and we're going to talk today about how you can get the seller to pay for closing costs. So how much the seller can pay for your closing costs is going to depend on the type of loan you have and also what your sales price is. So here's the facts. If you're getting a loan, you've got the fees for title, lender, prepaids, which are taxes and insurance, and you also might have any points that you might be buying down the interest rate. So these can really add up. So it's important to remember that the seller is not obligated to pay any of these fees. In fact, it's all up for negotiation. So this is one of the reasons why having a realtor to support you at the time of negotiation is really, really crucial. After talking to your lender in pre-approval, they can help you come up with an amount that might need to be negotiated with a seller to help you offset monies that are due on closing day. The most important thing to note is that any credits from the seller to pay for closing costs cannot dip into your down payment. What that means is that, let's say the seller closing cost credit is $10,000, but your closing costs are only $8,000. That's a difference of $2,000. That $2,000 can't be used by the buyer. So make sure that you know what your closing costs are up front so that you negotiate the proper amount. So here's some maximum amounts to be aware of so that you know how much that you can negotiate. So if you're getting a conventional loan, your maximum amounts actually change depending on your down payment. So if you're putting anywhere from 3 to 9.9% down, the maximum that a seller can contribute is 3% of the price towards your closing costs. So let's say that you have a home price of $300,000. 3% of that would be $9,000. And remember that $9,000 credit cannot exceed your actual closing costs. If you're putting 10% down on a conventional loan, that closing cost credit will actually increase to 6%. So a 6% seller credit can really increase the amount that you have to possibly buy down the interest rate or do some other creative things with your financing. Now, wait for it. If you put 25% down, the seller credit allowable goes up to 9%. But remember, the seller closing cost credit cannot exceed your actual closing costs. Now let's bump over to the government loans. So an FHA loan is going to be limited, no matter what the loan size is, to 6%. That's 6% of the sales price can be applied to closing costs. So it's really important to note, again, that the closing cost credit from the seller can never dip into your down payment. So this is really, really important. So a lot of times clients are negotiating repairs, they're doing the inspection period, and they want to negotiate for maybe some things need to be done, maybe some paint, maybe some, AC needs to be repaired, maybe the roof. It's just important to note that, again, the closing cost credit cannot ever exceed the closing costs, and it also needs to meet the tolerances of the percentages that I just described. So the last loan that I'm going to cover is a VA loan. So a VA loan can be 4% of the sales price in closing cost credits. Now, VA loans actually have some extra special benefits, so make sure to watch our video. We'll put it down in the description. Make sure to later watch our video about VA loans and how you can even max out seller credits even more than the 4%. It's really important to note that if you're buying an investment property, your maximum credit is actually limited to 2%. So beware, if you're buying investment property, you're going to be limited to how much the seller can give you credit for. So I hope you're enjoying the channel. Please comment, like, subscribe. Let me hear your questions. We'll talk to you soon.